A jocular sequel to Dale Carnegie's bestseller could well be How to Con Strangers and Scam People. The biggest and noisiest megaphones that can use the current of gullibility to amplify messages are our social media accounts. During the pandemic, the time spent on these platforms has risen exponentially, making them a fertile ground for cyber criminals and conmen to breed with impunity. A civic conscious citizen was recently bamboozled into debiting his bank account by a trickster on Facebook. The modus operandi was devious: find a target, create a credible looking profile, replete with reputed names of employers, upload happy family pictures, invariably lifting them from other profiles, put out carefully drafted posts that reflect a measure of dignity, send out friend requests to mutual friends, and then craft a sob story seeking a small loan. Repay that promptly to build trust. Then comes the shark attack, a more tragic sob story and a bigger ask. The Good Samaritan, like many others, fell prey to one such fraudster. Polite requests for repayment were met with excuses and dilatory tactics. A stern threat of legal action brought out a chameleon. The choicest invectives were spewed with a do what you can dare. Not all such scams are with your knowledge. Cyber criminals even manage to create fake Facebook profiles of senior police officials in a few states by using photographs from their genuine accounts. Armed with these accounts, they had the temerity to befriend their contacts and send out SOS requests for money for some emergency. The spate of timely disclaimers put out by these top cops was a wake-up call to all of us. Some of these gangs have reportedly been nabbed. Many may be still lurking out there. The friend requests from locked profiles are a definite red flag. Even invitations to participate in webinars hosted by strangers may be a ploy to strike up a conversation. A standard line to persuade you is, "Oh, we are giving you a platform." As renowned musician Anil Srinivasan once quipped, "You are not a train to need a platform." Beware of tangential interface on community groups that you may have joined. It's important for users to not entertain or at least minimize interaction with strangers on the social media. Don't become a victim in the first place. Social media sites must insist on some form of authentication, like an official email ID, in order to display professional information. Why can't the algorithms disallow duplicate accounts with the same pictures? I don't understand. Why can't there be default categorization like family, personal friends, acquaintances, and colleagues? If our search history and cookies can be used to pop up relevant advertisements, surely stricter due diligence and higher community standards can be expected from these behemoths. God forbid, if you do get cheated, promptly lodge a police complaint. In the cases cited above, offences of cheating by personation and for dishonestly inducing delivery of property, punishable under sections 419 and 420 of the Indian Penal Code, are made out. They carry jail terms of up to 3 years and 7 years respectively. Sections 66C and 66D of the Information Technology Act 2000 can additionally be invoked for fraudulently or dishonestly making use of any unique identification feature of any person and cheating by personation by using a computer resource. They are both punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years and a fine that may extend to ₹1,00,000. These twin provisions, along with other offences under the IT Act, came in for scrutiny by the Supreme Court in that landmark Shreya Singhal versus Union of India decision in 2015. When striking down the loosely worded Section 66A of the IT Act, the Apex Court had observed that it was clear that in all computer-related offences that are spoken of by Section 66, mens rea was an ingredient, and the expression dishonestly and fraudulently were defined with some degree of specificity. In fact, the definition of these two crucial terms is the same as what is contained in sections 24 and 25 of the IPC, the Indian Penal Code, namely, causing wrongful gain to one person and wrongful loss to another, and an act with intent to defraud. In such offences, establishing criminal intent is not too difficult. Despite sufficient legal deterrence, many victims hesitate to take the legal route. Remember, petitions today can be filed online. In Chennai, for instance, each of the police districts has a cyber cell, they have decentralized it. Inaction emboldens criminals. Prompt complaints help in busting rackets and will save many unsuspecting folks from being ensnared. Never forget that for all its networking prowess, the social media can also be home to antisocial elements. Sometimes, if you have social media friends, then you don't need enemies.